Hello students, this is your English lesson. Today we are going to read unit number 11, The Treasure Seekers from Oxford Reading Circle 6. So we start our lesson. This is page number 187. There are some things I must tell before I begin to tell about the treasure seeking because I have read books myself and I know how beastly it is when a story begins. Alas, said Hildegard with a deep sigh, we must look our last on this ancestral home. And then someone else says something, and you don't know for pages and pages where the home is, or who Hildegard is, or anything about it. Our ancestral home is on Lewisham Road. It is semi-detached and has a garden, not a large one. We are the Bastables. There are 6 of us besides father. Our mother is dead. And if you think we don't care because I don't tell you much about her, then you only show that you do not understand people at all. Dora is the eldest, then Oswald, and then Dickie. Oswald won the Latin prize at his preparatory school. Preparatory? Serving as or carrying out preparation for a task. And Dickie is good at sums. Alice and Neil are twins. They are 10, and Horace Octavius is my youngest brother. It is one of us that tells this story. But I shall not tell you which. I might, but only at the very end, perhaps. While the story is going on, you may be trying to guess, only I bet you don't. It was Oswald who first thought of looking for treasure. Oswald often thinks of very interesting things, and directly he thought of it, he did not keep it to himself, as some boys would have done, but he told the others and said, I'll tell you what, we must go and seek for treasure. It is always what you do to restore the fallen fortunes of your house. Dora said it was all very well. She often says that she was trying to mend a large hole in one of Neil's stockings. He tore it on a nail when we were playing shipwrecked mariners on top of the chicken house the day H.O. fell off and cut his chin. He still has the scar. Dora is the only one of us who ever tries to mend anything. Alice tries to make things sometimes. Once she knitted a red scarf for Noel because his chest is delicate, but it was much wider at one end than the other, and he would not wear it. So we used it as a pennon. Pennon, a distinctive flag in any of various forms. And it did very well because most of our things are black or grey since mother died, and red was a nice change. Father does not like to be asked for new things. That was one way we had of knowing that the fortunes of the ancient house of Bastables were really fallen. Another way was that there was no more pocket money except a penny now and then to the little ones, and people did not come to dinner any more like they used to, with pretty dresses, driving up in cars, and the carpets got holes in them, and when the legs came off things they were not sent to be mended, and we gave up having the gardener and silver in the big oak plate chest that is lined with green baize. Baize are coarse woolen or cotton. With green baize, all went away to the shop to have the dents and scratches taken out and never came back. The new spoons and forks were yellowy white and not as heavy as the old ones, and they never shone after the first day or two. Father was very ill after mother died, and while he was ill, his business partner went to Spain, and there was never much money afterwards. I don't know why. Then all the servants left, and there was only one. A great deal of your comfort and happiness depends on having good servants. The old one was nice. She used to make jolly good currant puddings for us, but the one we have now nearly always makes sago puddings, and they are the watery kind. Then we stopped going to school, and father said we should go to a good school as soon as he could manage it. He said a holiday would do us all good. We thought he was right, but we wished he had told us he couldn't afford it. But I guess we knew anyway. Then a great many people used to come to the door with envelopes with no stamps on them, and sometimes they got very angry and said they were calling for the last time before putting it in other hands. And once a long blue paper came, a policeman brought it, and we were so frightened, but father said it was all right. Only when he went up to kiss the girls after they were in bed, they said he had been crying. Though I'm sure that's not true, because only cowards and snivells cry. Snivells, a person given to excessive complaints and crying and whining. And my father is the bravest man in the world. So, you see, it was time we looked for treasure, and Oswald said so, and Dora said it was all very well, but the others agreed with Oswald, so we held a council. Dora was in the chair, the big dining room chair that we left the fireworks off from on the 5th of November when we had the measles and couldn't do it in the garden. The hole has never been mended, so now we have that chair in the nursery. We must do something, said Alice, because the exchequer is empty. She rattled the money box as she spoke. Yes, but what shall we do? Said Dicky. It's so jolly easy to say, let's do something. Dicky always wants everything settled exactly. Let's read all the books again. We shall get lots of ideas out of them. It was Neil who suggested this, but we made him shut up because we knew well enough he only wanted to get back to his old books. Noel is a poet. Noel is a poet. Then Dicky said, look here, we will be quiet for 10 minutes and each think of some way to find treasure. And when we have thought, we'll try all the ways, one after the other, beginning with the eldest. I shan't be able to think in 10 minutes. Make it half an hour, said H.O. His real name is Horace Octavius, but we call him H.O. Well, we made it half an hour and we all sat quiet and thought, and I made up my mind before 2 minutes were over, and I saw the others had, all but Dora, who always takes an awful time over everything. I got pins and needles in my leg from sitting still so long, and when it was 7 minutes, H.O. cried out, oh, it must be more than half an hour. H.O. is 8 years old, but he cannot tell the clock yet. Oswald could tell the clock when he was 6. We all stretched ourselves and began to speak at once, but Dora put up her hands to her ears and said, one at a time, please. So Dora made us all sit in a row on the floor in ages, and then she pointed at us with the finger that had the brass thimble on. Her silver one got lost when the last servant went away. We think she must have forgotten it was Dora's and put it in her box by mistake. She was a very forgetful girl. Oswald spoke first. I think we might stop people in the park with crepe masks and horse pistols and say your money or your life. Resistance is useless. We are armed to the teeth. Dora screwed up her nose the way she always does when she is going to talk, like the good elder sister in books, and said, "That would be very wrong. It's like taking pennies out of father's greatcoat when it's hanging in the hall." But Oswald was not going to let her see he cared, so he said, "Oh, very well. I can think of lots of other ways. We could rescue an old gentleman from deadly highwaymen." "There aren't any," said Dora. "Oh, well, it's all the same from deadly peril then. There's plenty of that. Then he would turn out to be the Prince of Wales, and he would say, 'My novel, my cherished preserver, here is £1,000,000 a year. Rise up, Sir Oswald Bastable.'" But the others did not seem to think so. Alice said, "I think we might try the diving road. I'm sure I could do it. I have often read about it. You hold a stick in your hands, and when you come to where there is gold underneath, the stick kicks about, so you know, and you dig." "Oh," said Dora suddenly, "I have an idea, but I'll say last." "Let's be bandits," said Ichu. "I dare say it's wrong, but it would be fun pretending." "I'm sure it's wrong," said Dora. And Dickie said she thought everything wrong. She said she didn't, and Dickie was very disagreeable. So Oswald had to make peace, and he said, "Dora need not play if she doesn't want to. Nobody asked her. And Dickie, don't be an idiot. Do dry up, and let's hear what Noel's idea is." Dora and Dickie did not look pleased, but I kicked Noel under the table to make him hurry up. And then he said he didn't think he wanted to play any more. That's the worst of it. The others are so jolly, ready to quarrel. I told Noel to be a man and not to snivel. And at last he said he had not made up his mind whether he would print his poetry in a book or sell it or find a princess and marry her. "Whichever it is," he added, "none of you shall get anything." Then Dickie spoke. "You must all have noticed the advertisements in the papers telling you that ladies and gentlemen can easily earn £2 a week in their spare time, and to send 2 shillings for sample and instructions." 2 shillings, a former British coin, carefully packed, free from observation. "Now that we don't go to school, all our time is spare time, so I should think we could easily earn £20 a week each. That would do us very well. We'll try some of the other things first, and directly we have any money, we will send for the sample and instructions. And I have another idea, but I must think about it before I say." We all said, "Out with it. What's the other idea?" But Dickie said, "No, that is Dickie all over. He never will show you anything he is making till it's quite finished, and the same with his inmost thoughts. But he's pleased if you seem to want to know." So Oswald said, "Keep your silly old secret then. Now, Dora, drive ahead." "We have all said except you." Then Dora jumped up and said, "Let's try my way now. Besides, I am the eldest, so it's only fair. Let's dig for treasure. Not any tiresome driving road, but just plain digging. People who dig for treasure always find it. And then we shall be rich, and we need not try your ways at all. Some of them are rather difficult, and I'm certain some of them are wrong, and we must always remember that wrong things. But we told her to shut up and come on, and she said, and she did. I couldn't help wondering as we went down to the garden why father had never thought of digging there for treasure instead of going to his beastly office every day. Exercises. A. Questions. 1. Who are the members of the Bastable family? Answer. The members of the Bastable family include father and 6 children: Dora, Oswald, Dickie, the twins Alice and Noel, and Horace Octavius. Their mother is dead. 2. How did the children know from their father's behavior that their fortune had fallen? Answer. The children knew that their fortune had fallen because their father did not like to be asked for new things anymore. 3. What other signs were there to show that they had fallen on hard times? Answer. There were several other signs that showed their fortunes had fallen. For instance, the children hardly received pocket money anymore. Also, the Bastables stopped having guests over for dinner. They had to sell their silverware and let go of their servants as well. Moreover, the children were not being sent to school anymore. No repairs were being done at home, and the children were given watery sago pudding instead of rich currant pudding to eat. 4. Why do you think the family received envelopes with no stamps on them? What do you think the envelopes contained? Answer. The family received envelopes with no stamps on them because they were delivered by hand, or they might be letters from the government. 5. What suggestions did the various children make in order to find some money? Answer. Oswald suggested they wear masks and rob people in the park. Alice wanted to try the diving road. H.O. suggested they become bandits. Noel wanted to get money by selling his poems or marrying a princess. Dickie felt they could invest in one of the money-making schemes advertised in the papers. Lastly, Dora proposed they dig in their garden for buried treasure. 6. Had you been in Horace's place, what idea would you have presented to find treasure? Answer. Had I been in Horace's place, I would have suggested becoming a magician and perform tricks in front of an audience and earn money. 7. Are there any clues about who might be telling the story? What are those clues? Answer. Some clues in the story easily give away the narrator's identity. Firstly, the narrator is too generous in praising Oswald compared to his praise for the other children. The narrator is too eager to point out that Oswald had won the Latin prize at school. Oswald is also said to always think of interesting things and was the first one to come up with the idea of treasure hunting. In self-praise, he also states that Oswald could tell the time when he was 6, unlike H.O. Secondly, his narration fails to hide his identity as he says that the girls said father had been crying, which he believed to be untrue. B. Reference to context. 1. I think we might try the Divining rod. I'm sure I could do it. A. Who said these words and to whom? Answer. Alice said these words to her siblings. B. How was the speaker sure that she would be able to use the dividing rod? Answer. The speaker was sure that she would be able to use the dividing rod because she had read about it. C. Did the speaker actually use the dividing rod? Why or why not? Answer. The speaker did not show the divining rod because Dora decided to go for plain digging, as using a divining rod was comparatively tiresome. 2. Let's try my way now. Besides, I'm the eldest, so it's only fair. A. Who says these words and to whom? Answer. Dora said these words to her sibling. Dora said these words to her siblings. B. Why did the speaker want to try her way? Answer. She wanted to try her way as she was the eldest. C. Did the speaker and her siblings actually try her way? What was the result? Answer. I think the siblings might have tried her way as they were headed for the garden. They might have ended up digging a lot of holes in the garden, making their father quite upset. C. Words and meaning. 1. Explain what is meant by the following. Use these expressions in your own sentences. A. Keep it to yourself. Answer is, it means to refuse to disclose something. B. It's all very well. The meaning is, it means that you do not really approve of something. C. I got pins and needles. The answer is, it means feeling a tingling sensation when blood flow returns after numbness. D. Do dry up. The answer is, to dry up means to stop talking. Use these expressions in your own sentences. A. Keep it to yourself. Sentence. I can't believe you kept that secret to yourself all these years. B. It's all very well. Sentence. It was all very well that they came to visit us at that evening. C. I got pins and needles. Sentence. I have been on pins and needles since my son went out on his first camping trip with friends. D. Do dry up. Sentence. The mud in the dried up river bed had cracked. 2. Use these words in sentences of your own. A. Sniveling. Sentence. She is sniveling after cry. B. Forgetful. Sentence. I have been forgetful these days. C. Resistance. Sentence. They have shown a stubborn resistance to change. D. Peril. Sentence. To avoid peril, Harris should leave his office, the officer said. E. Disagreeable. Sentence. The conversation was disagreeable to him. E. Inmost. Sentence. She revealed her inmost thoughts and feelings to her friend. Thanks for listening. For new videos, don't forget to subscribe my channel. And if you like my videos, Please share and like.